My name is Christelle and I live in Southampton with my family. I would like to ask you a question. Can you guess where I am? Throughout the pandemic, I often came here with my children. Shirley Pond Park, which is part of Lordsdale Greenway, became our space to breathe, our urban green adventure. Here in this neighbourhood, we formed a Friends of the Park group to act as advocates for Shirley Pond Park and rally support from the local community and beyond. We organised litter picks or good gym sessions, as the Good Gym charity volunteers would call them, and removed invasive species of Himalayan balsam, a plant that can choke out other plants. But more importantly, we started forming a community of people who want to explore and protect nature. Shirley Pond Park is also one of the 49 parks we have in Southampton, which makes our city a top candidate to become one of the 25 national park cities in the world by 2025.
Yeah, well, we moved here just over 4 years ago, and having dogs, you want a nice park to be able to take them for a walk in that's close by, especially my dogs who want lots of walks. So it was perfect to discover this on our doorstep.
Yeah, I remember coming here during lockdown and doing litter picks with my kids and the next door neighbour, and actually being surprised by how much they enjoyed it. So I basically clocked on to the fact that this part of the Greenway spans all the way from the Romsey Road and then through this park, and then you can walk to St James's Park and then to the Common via relatively quiet routes that are actually pleasant to walk in or pleasant to cycle in, all the way into the city centre, apart from there is a ditch. There is a ditch in the way, and it's used for fly tipping, and it's pretty treacherous to walk on. So I approached the council, the councillors who spoke to the housing association on the other side about some changes to the ditch. And I'm pleased to say that we're promised those changes will be being made to make it basically safer for pedestrians. And what actually motivated me was my daughter wants to cycle to school. She's 11, she's going to start secondary school, and she'd be able to cycle via really safe routes if she could get off and walk her bike there. But it's not even safe to do that. So I'm not talking about like access for like loads of cyclists and motorcyclists or anything like that. I'm just talking about pedestrian access.
Well, we both have children, so we'd like it to be more appealing for them to use. There was the idea of clearing out some of the areas and then making it more accessible for that forest style feel or bushcraft as children start to get older, just so they have got a space to sit down in nature and be calm, and even have activities to look at, such as a nature trail we discussed. So having items around that people could follow the trail and learn about the different wildlife that they'll see around the pond. And because this is just part of such a long walk, if we could start that walk here, we could offer walks that would be suitable for a toddler or someone with mobility issues, to being able to show people they can walk all the way through these green links and along rivers.
As a group, one of our aspirations has been to record the flora and wildlife around the pond, which is an activity that anyone can now join in for free. The last time it was done was 30 years ago. Today I'm meeting with Jordan, a University of Southampton student who is going to show me how to use the free technology to achieve that aim.
Hi
Hiya.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Right, it's great to see you today.
Yeah, thanks for meeting up.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Happy to show you through how the app works ahead of tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, so what we do is we just kind of find the plant that we're interested in or animal, and we kind of load up the app and click Start New Submission, and we just try to take as detailed of a photo as we can, trying to get all the features of the plant or animal in there. And then once we do that, we process the submission, and then depending whether you know what the plant is or not, you can either type in the name yourself, or it'll come up with a list of suggestions that it thinks the plant is or animal.
Cool, so it's a great tool for learning and discovery. You don't have to know anything about ecology fundamentally.
No,
Brilliant.
and then you'll have other ecologists that are on the app, and they will kind of verify your submissions or tell you what they think it is instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan is part of the Nature and Biodiversity Hub, the BioHub, a community of local groups, university staff and students in Southampton who have a keen interest in nature and biodiversity and how to help it thrive in the face of unprecedented global challenges. When patients come to me and we start talking about exercise and time in nature and things, I actually look at their postcode and try and work out which natural space they live near to and talk to them about to what extent they feel they could explore that.
So from some of the photos earlier, I emailed them to myself just so we can walk through the uploading process. And then this is one I took earlier and I emailed to myself. So this is what it reckons the plant is, kind of the family it's a part of. And then we go on location here, kind of just zooming into Southampton. And we were just outside the Centenary building.
Yeah.
Updated observations of the area it was found in, and then you can add any additional notes such as where the plant was found or any unique features that you noticed that might help with the identification process.
So tonight we'll have potentially a mixture of people of all walks of life turn up. I've told everybody we're going to do a bio blitz at Shirley Pond Park.
What have you got?
Look, I think it's a bush cricket.
Right, green, isn't it? It's almost
In
glowing
America,
in
they
the
call
sunshine.
these katydids.
Oh, is that what a katydid is?
Yeah.
Meet Rufus, a true urban green adventurer.
So
Well, first we were scanning along the hedgerows, and then I saw this long grass. I thought that would be really good for insects. And there we found some beetles, and also we found some ants which farm aphids because they produce this honeydew. We've also spotted some hoverflies, a northern white-tailed bumblebee, a carrion crow, and a brown rat.
Oh, amazing.
And there were plenty of hoverflies, but obviously we couldn't take photos of those because they were far too quick.
There's so many, aren't there? There's some insects, there's so many, we don't know what they are at all.
Yeah, and there was this beetle on this grass that we had no idea what it is. We've got a photo of it, so you might be able to identify it.
Amazing. Have you heard of iNaturalist before?
No, but I have met Chris Packham, and he's famous. I've also met Keith the famous bird spotter Keith a couple of times.
We're just going to walk through how to use iNaturalist. So we load up the phone. We just press the plus button, and we find kind of a plant or animal that we're interested in. So what do you see at the moment?
Well, I see there's three. I can see the two are quite downy and not in their prime adult plumage like that, like the one on the far right.
Yeah. What about plants? Should we try plants?
Oh,
We're just learning about plants.
well, I think we explained it. This might be hogweed, maybe?
Yeah, I think you are right there.
Hogweed. Eats. And they can see the flower. It looks a bit like cow parsley.
It does. So yeah, so they're all part of the parsley family, and you can kind of see where they used to be the flower heads. Yeah.
Well, so many people don't know about this place. pond's great, the wildlife is great. It's so peaceful, given that it's almost in.
I do come here when I'm really
city.
stressed, and there's, it's hardly anyone here. And you can even shout if you want.
Of course. And another thing I noticed when I moved here was the amount of wild plants here, and I'm quite keen on using herbs for health and well-being. But I just did a balm making workshop actually recently for the herb club I do, and I collected a lot of the herbs from here. We made daisy oils as well. So daisy is a bit like arnica, in that it's really good for bruises, so especially good if you've got little ones that fall over all the time, or you're clumsy.
Or you're on blood thinners, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. As a GP, do you think you'd suggest herbal remedies to your patients?
I think there's plenty of stuff that, that there is evidence for that comes into conversation when patients aren't keen on, taking pills. There's certain herbs that are very much, I think, accepted in general usage, aren't there, like valerian for sleep or chamomile tea, etc., that are known to have natural sleep-inducing qualities. So I think that does come into things. Chili-based cream for aching joints as well is something that we could even prescribe until recently, but we can't anymore, so we might recommend that the patient thinks about buying it, for example.
We are hoping that this short film has tempted you to look at green spaces near you with fresh eyes. Check out your local Friends of Park group on the Southampton National Park City website, or start your own. Our support is ready when you are.